Well, hello, I'm Misheard with Misheard Song Lyrics Podcast. We're at Season 6, Episode 295. The Misheard Song Lyric is, I wanna love you, the bear said I can't. And the correct lyrics is, I wanna love you, the best that I can. You guessed it, it's Hootie and the Blowfish. And we're not talking about a bear that says you can love that person. It's the best that. So, gosh, I haven't done any Hootie and the Blowfish misheard song lyric until this episode. The funny thing is, once you hear the misheard song lyric, you can't unhear it. Even watching the video, which we'll talk about in a second, it sounds like and looks like with his lips, he's saying the bear said he can't. So I wonder if it's the same bear from my Season 1, Episode 2, Alanis Morissette's You Oughta Know misheard of the cross-eyed bear instead of the cross-eyed bear. Correct lyric. So could be the same bear. Let's dig in. So Hold My Hand is the debut single of the American alternative rock band Hootie and the Blowfish from their album Cracked Rear View. Now, interesting, all four of the band members, that includes Mark Bryan, Dean Felber, Darius Rucker, and Jim Sonnefeld, wrote the song sometime in 1989, but it was released on a self-titled, get this, cassette, that's how old it is, EP the year after, which was released in July of 1994. Let's talk about Hootie and the Blowfish, because lots of misconceptions about them. They're an American rock band formed in Columbia, South Carolina in 1986, and the band's lineup for most of its existence has been the quartet of Darius Rucker, Mark Bryan, Dean Felber, and Jim Sonnefeld. So the band actually went into hiatus back in 2008 until they announced plans for their full reunion tour in 2019 and released their first new studio album in 14 years called Imperfect Circle. So as of 2019, Hootie and the Blowfish has won 2 Grammy Awards, landed 16 singles on various Billboard singles charts, and released 6 studio albums. We'll go into also details of all the awards that they win and were nominated for. And their debut album, that 1994 Cracked Rear View, became one of the best-selling albums in the U.S. and was certified platinum 22 times. The band is known for their 3 top 10 singles. The one we're talking about today, 1994's Hold My Hand, yours truly was a young 22-year-old, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. Let Her Cry, also in 1994, and Only Want to Be With You, Only Want to Be With You, in 1995. The band is also very popular with the Canucks in Canada, having 3 number 1 singles in that country. And according to the band's website, Hootie.com, check it out, it's up and running. The quartet met while attending the University of South Carolina in Columbia in the late 1980s. New freshman Mark Bryan heard Darius Rucker singing in the showers of the dorm they shared and was impressed by his vocal ability. Bryan and Rucker began playing cover tunes as the Wolf Brothers and eventually hooked up with Dean Felber, a former high school bandmate of Bryan's, and Brantley Smith as Hootie and the Blowfish. So the funny thing about the name Hootie and the Blowfish, people just assumed it was Darius Rucker's name was Hootie. It's not. It was actually borrowed from nicknames of 2 college friends, where Rucker is often mistakenly labeled as Hootie. And so I think I read somewhere or saw a video somewhere that Hootie and the Blowfish, because one had really big eyes like an owl, and Blowfish with the big cheek. So I wonder who they are. They probably know who they are. If they do, hey, send us a note, because we'd love to hear your story of being the impetus of the name of the band, Hootie and the Blowfish. And then when Smith's true passion called him home to Greenville, South Carolina in 1989, Bryan reached out to classmate Jim Sonnefeld, they call him Sony, to join the band, and immediately the chemistry was undeniable, quote unquote. So that's how they all began. So let's talk about Darius Rucker, because that's, the front man is always who everyone knows. So he was born on May 13, 1966. So his birthday is coming up too. He's an American singer, musician, and songwriter, and first gained fame as the lead vocalist and rhythm guitarist of rock band Hootie and the Blowfish, which people assumed he was Hootie. He is not Hootie, which he founded in 1986 at the University of South Carolina, along with Mark Bryan, like I said earlier, and the rest is history. The band released 5 studio albums with Rucker as a member and charted 6 top 40 hits on the Billboard Hot 100. Rucker even co-wrote most of the songs with other members of the band. Then he had his own debut album that was an R&B record titled Back to Then in 2002, was released through Hidden Beach Recordings. 6 years later, this is how he came back into the mainstream for me and to most. He signed to Capitol Nashville as a country singer and released his second album, Learn to Live, in 2008. Its first single, Don't Think I Don't Think About You, peaked at number 1 on Hot Country Songs chart, making it the first song by a black artist to do so since 1983 with Mr. Charlie Pride. I did not know that. It was followed by 3 similarly successful singles, It Won't Be Like This for Long, All Right, and The History in the Making. Did you know in 2009, he also became the first Black American to win the New Artist Award from the Country Music Association, CMA, and the second Black person to win any award from the association. That's pretty big. His third album, called Charleston, South Carolina, 1966, was released on October 12, 2010. I'm assuming it's something to do about his birth date year, because that's where he's from and that's when he was born. And that was released back on October 12, 2010, so 15 years ago this October. The album included the #1 country single, Comeback Song, and this. Then he had a 4th album come out in 2013 called True Believers. It reached #2 on the Billboard 200 and spawned the singles True Believers, Wagon Wheel, and Radio. Then he did his first country Christmas album called Home for the Holidays in 2014, which actually did pretty good. It reached #31 on the US Billboard 200. I need to check that out. His 6th album, called Southern Style, in 2014 reached #6 on the Billboard 200, supported by the singles Homegrown Honey and Southern Style. And then his 7th and 8th studio albums, When Was the Last Time, 2017, and Carolyn's Boy, 2023, followed thereafter. Did you know on October 2nd, 2012, so about 13 years ago, Rucker was actually invited to join the Grand Ole Opry? It's a big to-do, and you have to be invited by someone, I believe, that's already a member. Halfway through his set at the Opry that night, he answered questions from the audience, which included a question from country singer Brad Paisley. Paisley said, quote unquote, "I have 2 questions. 1, are you still the worst poker player in the world? And 2, would you like to become the newest member of the Grand Ole Opry?" Rucker accepted and became official on October 16, 2012. He is also known as a very ardent Southern Carolina Gamecocks fan, as well as a Miami Dolphins and Cincinnati Reds fan. Sadly, his mother died in November 1992 of a heart attack, with his grief inspired 2 Hootie the Blowfish songs, I'm Going Home and Not Even the Trees. I'm going to need to check those songs out too. Then, personally, on April 21st, 1995, his girlfriend then, Elizabeth Ann Phillips, gave birth to Rucker's first child, a daughter named Carolyn Pearl Phillips. I love the name Pearl. Then later on, must have not done well with baby mama there, he married a Beth Leonard in 2000 with their first child. Daughter Daniela Rose was born on May 16, 2001, so she's going to be this May, 24 years old, and their son Jack on October 27, 2004, so he'll be 21. Well, older kids, but the sad thing is, in 2020, so 20 years of marriage, both Rucker and his wife Beth announced their divorce. So, more info. The Hootie song, Where Were You, is about Rucker's strained relationship with his father, and was only released in Europe, thinking that his father would not hear it there. And then his country single, All Right, was inspired by his marriage. Here's another Did You Know? I kind of knew it. I would see it, but I really wasn't sure about it. So he is a friend of golfer Tiger Woods. You know who Tiger Woods is, who they met back in 1993 when Woods was only 18. Rucker sang at the golfer's wedding with Hootie and the Blowfish, and also his father's funeral. So that's how tight he was with Tiger. His interest in golf also goes beyond that relationship with Tiger Woods. He was also a VIP guest of Team USA at the 2016 Ryder Cup, and he attended Arnold Palmer's funeral shortly before the Cup. So really big proponent of golf and that community. What I didn't know is he was also on the Undercover Boss series. I love that, where they try to hide the boss or the VP or the president to go undercover in his own company. So he was the celebrity undercover boss, Darius Rucker, which premiered back on May 12, 2017. He disguised himself as a 62-year-old music teacher that ran an open mic night and worked as a roadie. I gotta watch that too. Then sadly, on February 1st, 2024, so a year ago, he was arrested in Williamson County, Tennessee on 2 misdemeanor drug charges and 1 misdemeanor vehicle registration violation. He was released after posting $10,500 bail. In a statement given to the Tennessean, Rucker's lawyer, Mark Puryear, I think that's how you say it, claimed that Rucker was fully cooperating with authorities related to his misdemeanor charges. He then released A Life's Too Short, a memoir, in 2024. So if you've read it, let us know. I might have to check that out as well. So many things to check out of Darius Rucker and Hootie the Blowfish. And then on January 29, 2025, just this year, Rucker revealed in an Instagram post that he'll be relocating to London, England, to tour more frequently in the UK and work on new creative endeavors. He has no plans to renounce his U.S. U.S. citizenship, but he just wants to live there for a bit and see what goes over there. So good luck, Mr. Rucker. So back to the song Hold Your Hand. How did it do? Well, it did quite well for Hootie and the Blowfish. It peaked at number 10 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 and number 6 on the Billboard Hot Adult Contemporary Tracks chart. It ended the year at number 22 on the Billboard year-end chart for 1995. So let me list all the awards and nominations. So at the American Music Award, they were nominated for Artist of the Year. This is Hootie and the Blowfish in 1996. Favorite Pop Rock Band, Duo or Group. Favorite Pop Rock New Artist. Favorite Adult Contemporary Artist. And for that 1996 American Music Awards, they won the Favorite Pop Rock New Artist, a new artist. And then in 1997, next year at the American Music Awards, they were nominated for the Favorite Pop Rock Band Duo Group, and they won that for 1997. So 2 American Music Awards. Let's keep going. Grammy Awards. In 1996, they were nominated for 2 awards. Best New Artist in 1996 and Best Pop Performance by a duo group with vocals for Let Her Cry. Won both of them in 1996. So now they have 2 Grammy Awards. And then in 1995, MTV Music Awards for Hold My Hand, the song we're talking about here, they were nominated for Best New Artist and Viewer's Choice Award. They won for Best New Artist. Back in 1996, again, from MTV Music Awards for Only Want to Be With You, All I Want to Be With You, they were up for Best Group Video, nominated but did not win. So when you do the tally, not bad. 2 American Music Awards, 2 Grammys, and 1 Best New Artist for MTV Music Awards. Speaking of music video, have you checked it out? I checked it out. I haven't seen it since when it first came out, so brought back some memories. It was actually officially uploaded on YouTube back on October 26, 2009. So this October will be 16 years. So literally, it was born, someone that was born back then can now drive. That's how old it is. And it's at a whopping 32.6 million views. Pretty good. So the music video was directed by an Adolfo Doring. I looked him up a bit. Mexican director. Love it. Did some documentaries. And in fact, there's one documentary I need to check out called Karaoke Man. I don't know what that's about. When I did a search, it brought me to a movie called Karaoke Man in 2012. Not the same thing. So I got to go down that rabbit hole. And when you watch it, it's definitely a 90s video. It's sepia tone music videos with images of the band Hootie and the Blowfish performing the song in someone's living room and somehow, somewhere, either in dusk or dawn, because there's hints of sunlight peeking through the room. Then it's intermixed with videos of teenagers outside doing Ring Around a Rosie and other random images like a pregnant woman holding her belly, cheerleader under the desk looking kind of like she's anxious, man with a dog on chair, another NCA, which I call National Cheerleading Association cheerleader, doing a herky move for those cheerleaders out there that understand what that jump is, and a purple VW convertible throughout, interspersed, and then at the end of the video. Doesn't seem to make any sense from one to the other than to think that the message is that everyone's there to help, just hold my hand. So that's the video. If you haven't seen it, check it out. But again, 32.6, almost 33 million views to date. If you have any great suggestions like this misheard song lyric about a bear not wanting them to say, I love you, this would be a great place to send it to. So you can send it to any of our sites like Instagram or Facebook under Misheard Song Lyrics, or you can send us an old-fashioned email at misheard, that's MISSHEARD songs @gmail.com. Till then, keep singing those songs wrong. Bye.